So picture this. You've found the perfect used car. The seller hands you a pristine paper title and you think you're good to go, right? Well, actually, scratch that. Does a clean piece of paper guarantee a clean car? Absolutely not. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling a totally critical skill for anyone buying a used car or motorcycle. Whether you're eyeing a classic cruiser or just a daily commuter, we are going to dive into the exact federal tool you need to uncover a vehicle's true history so you don't make an incredibly costly mistake.
I really want to hit on that common and honestly super dangerous misconception. You might think holding a crisp, physical paper title, one with no weird stamps on it, means the vehicle is completely safe to buy. But no way. A piece of paper in the seller's hand does not guarantee a clean car.
To put this into perspective, just look at this number, 20 million. Right now, there are roughly 20 million salvage or total loss records sitting in the federal vehicle system. 20 million. I mean, that represents a massive, massive scale of hidden damage. We're talking totaled vehicles, flooded cars, stuff you'd completely miss if you only look at that physical piece of paper the seller hands you.
All right, so here is how we're going to navigate this guide together to make sure you never get scammed on a vehicle purchase. We'll start with the hidden dangers, learn what the NMVTIS actually is, walk through getting your report online, decode the data, figure out how to handle red flags, and then wrap up with some final thoughts.
Okay, moving right along to Section 1, Hidden Dangers in Used Cars and the Risks of Flying Blind.
Look, the used car market has some incredible deals, for sure, but it's also got its fair share of bad actors. Unscrupulous sellers can easily clone a VIN, literally stealing the identity of a clean car and slapping it onto a stolen one. Or they might pull off title washing. This is wild. They take a car with a salvage title from a flood or a major wreck, move it across state lines, and exploit loopholes to get a brand new, quote-unquote, clean title issued. Add in illegal odometer rollbacks to make a highly used car look barely driven. Yeah, it becomes pretty obvious that just kicking the tires and checking the paint isn't going to protect your wallet.
So, what's the solution? Let's jump into Section 2. What is the NMVTIS? Basically, your federal shield.
This right here perfectly illustrates our hero for today, the National Motor Vehicle Title Information System, or NMVTIS. When you're looking to pull a vehicle's true history, always look for this exact official logo. It's the best way to avoid those scam websites that just want to harvest your credit card info.
But what exactly is it? Well, established under the Anti-Car Theft Act of 1992, NMVTIS is the only federal vehicle title database in the United States, and it's managed directly by the Department of Justice. By federal law, this database aggregates mandatory reports from all participating state DMVs, all insurance companies, and all auto recyclers, junkyards, and salvage yards, the whole shebang. It was specifically built to prevent title fraud and keep unsafe, totaled vehicles from being reintroduced to the market.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Check out the stark contrast between NMVTS and commercial platforms you probably already know, like Carfax. While commercial options offer great repair and maintenance histories for a premium price, usually around $40 a pop, NMVTS is your highly affordable, government-mandated baseline. It focuses purely on severe legal and structural issues, title brands, total losses, and fraud. For just a few dollars, checking NMVTS is literally the absolute bare minimum you need to do to avoid buying a stolen or junked vehicle.
All right, let's get practical. Section 3, Getting Your Report Online. Here is your step-by-step guide.
Following these 5 simple steps is going to act as your roadmap. First, locate the 17-character VIN on the vehicle, usually, on the dashboard near the windshield or on the driver's side door jamb. Second, visit vehiclehistory.gov to make sure you're starting in a totally secure place. Third, choose a DOJ-approved vendor. Fourth, pay the small fee, which is usually just like $4 to $10. And fifth, generate and analyze your report. So easy, right?
I do want to pause on step 3 for just a second. When you go to that official government site, you're going to see a list of authorized private vendors. We're talking companies like ClearVin, VinAudit, TitleCheck, Bumper, GoodCar, and VinSmart. You absolutely have to use one of these approved commercial partners, because the Department of Justice doesn't actually sell these reports directly to consumers. These vendors have the official contracts to securely query the federal database on your behalf.
For example, if you use a vendor like VinAudit, they give you a super simple search bar. You just type in that 17-character VIN, process your payment through their secure checkout, and boom! They instantly generate a comprehensive PDF report for you to download and review right there on your phone or computer.
So now you've got the report. What does it all mean? Let's hit Section 4, Decoding Your Vehicle History,
and the 5 key indicators. This table perfectly breaks down the 5 key indicators on an NMVTIS report. It's basically an X-ray revealing the true structural and legal health of your potential vehicle. First up, title history. This tracks which states the car has lived in, which is huge for catching title washing. Second, brand status, which looks for permanent damage labels. Third, the odometer reading, to help you catch illegal rollbacks. Fourth, theft records, confirming the car isn't currently reported as stolen. And finally, salvage or loss records. This shows if an insurance company ever declared the car a total loss, even if the state hasn't updated the paper title yet. Let's zoom in on brands for a sec. If you see any of these specific brands on your report, like junk, salvage, rebuilt, or flood, it means a state motor vehicle agency has permanently flagged the vehicle as having sustained severe, value-altering damage. Having a branded title dramatically lowers a car's value, and honestly, it can make it really tough to insure or finance.
Which brings us to the reality of the situation in Section 5, handling concerning red flags and what to do next.
Okay, what if you actually spot some of these red flags? Say the report shows the odometer at 150,000 miles, but the dashboard says 60,000. Or maybe you see multiple quick title changes across 3 different states in a single year. Or, worst case, a total loss declaration from an insurance company. If you see any of this, you need to act fast. Signs of a title washing scheme or odometer fraud mean you are likely dealing with a scammer. The best advice here? Walk away. Seriously, just walk away from the deal entirely. There are always other cars, and it's just not worth risking your safety or your finances.
But hey, what if the report comes back totally clean? That is great, but keep this evergreen piece of advice in mind. A clean report is just step 1. Because some states update their records daily and others lag behind by days or even weeks, false negatives can totally happen. Plus, a clean report doesn't mean the car is in perfect mechanical shape. You must always hire an independent mechanic to inspect the car on a lift before you hand over any of your hard-earned cash.
All right, let's wrap this up. Section 6. Final thoughts and disclaimer, to make sure you're protecting your purchase.
Before we go, I do need to share this important disclaimer. The information provided in this explainer does not constitute legal advice. While NMVTIS is an incredibly reliable source for title and brand history, it's not going to detail minor accident repairs, recall info, or standard maintenance. And it is absolutely not a substitute for an independent vehicle inspection. Always consult with legal or automotive professionals if you have specific concerns about a vehicle's history or a potentially fraudulent transaction.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the massive scale of hidden salvage vehicles to the exact steps you can take to protect yourself, all for less than the cost of a fast food meal. So armed with the knowledge to pull your own federal vehicle history report, the only question left is this. Knowing what might be hiding under that fresh coat of paint, will you ever risk flying blind in the used car market again? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer. Stay smart out there, and happy car hunting.